Welcome. Let's talk about twin flames. I have been doing twin flame drawings for 7 years in a row, and I have been changing a lot, and I keep learning from them. I must say that you don't have to have a twin flame connection, and twin flame is not the Cinderella archetype of spirituality. Not at all. I see a lot of misconceptions online from my own experience with clients, not only myself, and this is from the pinpoint that I want to talk about. I understand that everyone talks from their experience. Someone will swear it's just karmic, and someone will swear it isn't. They're talking from what they happened to them, that they have seen, and so am I. So let's define first what is a twin flame. I do want to say that I do believe we do have soul contracts. There are agreements that we do before born that can always be upgraded, canceled, and new agreements could be done. Now, there are two ways in which soul agreements could go. You could have someone that is on your side or against you. Let's leave karma aside because a lot of people have a lot of negative connotation about karma, and karma is not about that. This is just about cause and effect. So a soul can work on your team or against you, but the ones that will be working against you are also helping you to learn something that you wanted to learn before being incarnated. So let's say that if I wanted to be how to be a rich person, and maybe bankruptcy, maybe someone that helped me or did not help me so I could be poor, that person will be against me in the game, in the illusion. But in reality, it is helping me so I learn how to be abundant, how to be prosper. So in this case, we're talking about love relationships, and there are levels. Because I am a spiritual and I am sensitive and I can sense everyone else's aura, it doesn't mean every person that I sense lovingly, romantically, or sexually, it's my twin flame. That's a different story. A soulmate, from all soul contrasts we have the ones that some team members will be in our side and others will be against. The ones that are against are the ones we call karmic ones. But from those agreements, we're going to have different agreements: destiny contract, purpose, mission, romantic, family, friends, etc., etc. Let's now talk into the love relationship agreements. I have classified them in three types for me to understand, and I keep learning. So the physical one, it's a soulmate. It's someone that you physically know who it is, you know your name, where does person live, and you meet and you have a type of romantic connection. It could be karmic or not. Or it could start as a karmic and then you can change something very pleasant and comfortable and highest outcome for all. In these relationships, you maybe one is spiritual and the other it isn't, so you don't have certain characteristics that will define a twin flame connection, which means that you connect through the physical. You work together, maybe you have kids, maybe you got into relationship together, maybe you are long distance. It doesn't matter if it lasts a week, 6 months, or your whole life. It will depend on what you have chosen and what you are in alignment to experience in this lifetime. Remember, because someone is karmic in one time, maybe in another lifetime, that is a divine partner. So we're multidimensional beings, which means if I have multiple aspects of me, so does my partner and my mom and my kids and my friends and all of you. We're all more than one version of us. So just to summarize, We do have soul contracts before born that we can change, upgrade, cancel, and make new agreements along the way. There are certain restrictions that will be into the highest order for all. Because if I want to cancel the contract with my ex, but we have kids, then it will be certain things I have to consider. So that cancellation of the contract is into the highest outcome, not only for me, but for my kids and for my ex, etc., etc., etc. So things are not fixated. It's just not one rule. There are many. So be open. Open your mindset. Don't open just for one truth. Open for the highest possibility for you in that moment, and also be open for change. As I have been, and I always open to keep changing what I think. The truth will be depending on the conditions that are in that moment in time for that circumstance and for that person. So we agree that a soulmate is someone that has a physical experience. You know each other. You could be spiritual or not. In order to be a twin flame, they both need to be spiritual. But if you're not a spiritual, then if just one is, it's just a soulmate. It's not a twin flame. Not in this level. In another, maybe, perhaps, but not in this level. A twin flame will be a soul love experience. And I have met, I know some people say they're only romantic, they're only sexual, but I have seen all kinds. There are some that are like brothers and sisters. There are some that are very sexual. There are some that are very romantic. There are some that are very platonic. There are some that they love each other, but they don't feel physical connection at all. Like, I don't desire him at all. I love my husband, but I love to have him. A twin flame, it's like a guide. It could be karmic or not. Again, it depends on where you are and what you have chosen. You can connect telepathically. You can have dreams. You can meet in the astral. Some people have make love in the astral, etc., etc. That person maybe is alive in this time or not. Maybe you are connecting with your twin flame for the 1800s, or maybe from Sirius, or maybe as just as a spirit. Sometimes when they are in spirit form, it's not romantic or sexual at all. It's just like a love from a different kind, very unconditional and very divine, very sublime. I have noticed in the drawings that when a person has a romantic or very sexual attraction is because they are both alive at the same time. If you see your twin flame as an alien, that person may not be alive, or you may not be connected with the alive person. There are a lot of things that I have seen. So if you have a twin flame connection, whether that looks like an alien or a person or anything, and you connect telepathically, you feel love, normally you guide each other. It could be karmic or not, as I said. You're not bounded to be physical. You are not bounded to be married, have kids, be the Cinderella of spirituality. It could be, but it's not what defines a twin flame connection. A twin flame connection will be defined at the level of spirit, at the level of the soul, and that's it. The soulmate, it's physical. You may have spiritual connection or you may not. It's not bounded to have a spiritual connection. It's bounded to be a physical connection. But when you have physical connection and then you have a spiritual connection and you find harmony, which means that the majority of the relationship is not bounded into the karmic side, like you are my teacher, I'm your teacher, let's push each other, but it's more like I'm in your team, let's flow together, is where I call those divine partner. I feel like those, I have met them many. It's a beautiful connection. They feel so connected, so interwoven. They will normally have a spiritual mission that they work together, like for example Dora and Simon, or Melian. Melian maybe I'm not pronouncing her name correctly, and her boyfriend or partner, I don't know what he is, that they, I think, are divine partners. And of course, um, and Laurencian too. They work together, they are in the physical, they connect into the spiritual, they support multidimensionally in harmony to support each other. It doesn't mean they are not going to have fights or moments in which they say, I'm done with this, like everyone, but in the majority of the time, I think is what I have. I have met persons that they just want the twin flame connection with a galactic one and an Andromedan one, and they don't want to meet anyone in the physical. Sometimes people say, I don't want to have kids, I don't have time for a relationship, I just want to have the spiritual love channel open, and then that's it. So there are persons that are not choosing to have a romantic physical connection. There are other persons that I have seen that come in groups. This is not the majority. I have seen also persons that their twin flame mm, doesn't gonna get married because maybe is in the India with the monks and is meditating all the time, but connect with her and the spirit, and then support each other with healing and guidance and blah blah blah. But then she wants to have a physical connection, so she chooses to have a relationship with the husband, with kids, with another soulmate, but has a twin flame connection. I have also seen parents that maybe let's say that he is in Japan and then she is in the States. So when he's sleeping and then she's doing healing, he assists with the energy. And then likewise, but they have different lives, different things. They are not in the interest to be together or have married the kids and blah 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 blah, because they are not willing to live the life that they have, and they're happy like that. I have seen also couples that maybe she's gay and has a partner with her girlfriend, and then the twin flame that they work together, it's a male, and then he has another partner, another relationship, but they're like friends, and then they have that physical attraction, but they have telepathy and they communicate in dreams. So I also have seen the ones that I have my relationship, but I went into this ayahuasca and then I met someone, and then that person was my twin flame for 3 days, and now I will go back to my relationship. There is a lot of ways in which someone can come and be a temporary twin flame to activate your Kundalini, to activate yourself. Doesn't mean that they're going to have kids and be the Cinderella of spirituality. As I said before, you could, but maybe you don't if you're not choosing to have that. I feel like people expect and still have the idea of we're going to be merged in fifth dimension and then be one together and then be holy and then forever and ever and ever and ever as sun and be spirit guys and blah blah blah. And in a way, I do think, regardless if we're choosing to have a twin flame connection or not, we're all going to merge with other soul extensions. And in fact, this is something that came to a drawing. Someone asked, hey, do I just have one twin flame? Or I do have many? Because I had a reading and the person says that I had 12. And then when I asked, they explained to me that yes, we have more than one twin flame, because sometimes you cannot take a break from each other and then you choose, now don't be my lover, be my father, or be my friend, or be karma bitch that is going to push me to be a different person or something. And then you choose to have different partners. In fact, some persons along the way you will meet twin flame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are, I met someone that had sex and then she got out with all of them, and they all knew and they were all happy. And she said, what do you think? And I said, well, if you're all happy and you have all talk about, then well, then so be it. This is what you have chosen, right? So you don't have to have a twin flame. You can have a soulmate and be happy. I have seen it. you can have a twin flame and it could be very challenging, or it could be heaven. I have seen it. It depends on what you prefer. Like some people prefer Italian, some people prefer Mexican food, some people prefer Japanese food. Japanese food or Mexican food or Italian is no better than any other. They're just different choices and options for you to have. What if you do, if the contract that you have, you're not happy with it? Then request a change. I do have meditation for a brand new contract, soul contracts with the seraphims, but you can do it with a meditation, you can do it with a healer, someone like me. You can book a session, or you can just do it for yourself with a ritual. Choose a ritual of your choice, and then you can ask your requests. What you will ask, I suggest from my experience, when you do an upgrade of your control, set what you are choosing to let go, and also choose what you are using to bring in. Ask for the highest outcome for all. Listen to your intuition and go from there. Go from what it is best for you. If you feel guided to my work and would like to ask where you are and you think I could assist you, going through my website, I do have sessions and drawings, the guidance that I bring into the highest available possible. But you can also go into whatever or use your own intuition to see what you should do. If you are watching this video, then I'm sure that is information that will be valuable for you. Disregard what you don't think it is valuable. Thank you for being here. If you'd like to support Encoded Frequency and more content like this, like, share, comment, and see you guys around. Bye-bye.